Hello, Teacher Ann here, and welcome to Get Going with Van Gogh. It's an art program that is so exciting and you're going to have a good time. But before I get started, I want to make sure you have your supplies. You're going to need a piece of paper, 8.5 by 11, and a pencil with a good eraser, and a selection of magic markers. Here they are, a combination of what I call cool colors and warm colors. All right, and we'll talk about that later. But first, what are we going to draw? Well, you can see up here, you've got an image. It's a famous painting that Van Gogh did in the early 19th century. Who was Van Gogh? Well, here's a picture. He lived in France and he was born in 1853. He loved to do paintings that were bright and bold with color, and they formulated a first impression. What is that? It's what you think and see when you see something for the first time. His paintings, he used bright, bold strokes. If you see this picture here, there's a lot of bright, bold colors. He liked to do things with a yellow, bright, bold yellow colors. Here's a picture of some sunflowers. Oh, and he also painted some pretty basic things like, everyday life. Potato eaters. These people were eating potatoes. They were farmers in Holland. Note that the colors are very dark here. But Van Gogh liked to use bright colors, bright and bold, the yellows and the pinks and the blues, as in this sunflower drawing. But today's drawing, we're going to do his most famous work. It's called The Starry Night, and he did it while he was looking outside his window one night in the evening. He could see the bright moon and the stars as he looked into the countryside in France. All right, so we're going to do this beautiful picture with bright, bold colors. Now, if you can see here, here's the image, and here's what we're going to draw. And I've chosen to use very bright and bold colors here. But without further ado, I'm going to take this down and show you how to do a drawing step by step. Really, drawings are only a matter of 5 shapes, okay? So the first thing I'm going to put up here is my first image. Note, what are we looking at? We've got to start, the moon and the landscape here. So let's get started. Teacher Ann always puts guidelines in the drawings that we do in order for us to properly place the image. So I want you to divide your paper in half like so. There it is, just with the side of your eraser or with your pencil. And then I want you to do the same and divide it in half this way. Make sure your paper is lengthwise like so. Okay. Now I can place my moon and my landscape here. The moon is just a C shape, the shape of a C. So let's do that up in the corner right here. A C shape. All right. And then I see the hills in this picture. Van Gogh is looking at the landscape like so, the hill. So let's do that. A hill. You got it? Moving right along. What do I see in this image? All right, we continue to have our guidelines. What do you see? Well, there's the moon and the landscape. But here, I'm going to go ahead and produce a tree. This is called a cypress tree, and you can see it in the image here. As Van Gogh looked out of the window at the nighttime sky, he saw this tree. So let's go ahead and do it. It's just a big loop-de-loop that goes to the left of your drawing. And we're going to fill it to the entire page. And I start maybe 1 finger's width from the top. And then I'm going to come down 1 finger's width from the bottom. Now remember, this is a big cypress tree that he sees from his window. So you start at a point, come down, and a big loop-de-loop all the way around and up. And then bring it in a little bit and then up again to form a little tree. All right, there's your tree. All right, moving right along. What do I see next? Okay, here we go. What do I see? Well, straight along the guideline, I see a house. There's an image here. And what shape of that is that? It's a square and it's right at the guideline. So let's put a square right here, like so. And above the square, I'd say 3 fingers width from the top, is a triangle. So let's draw that. And next to that is a part of a house, a little square. So let's do that. Good job. Moving right along. For our final image, we're going to add these wonderful, colorful swirls for the nighttime sky. We've got some swirls here and some stars. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw that. I start. Teacher Ann starts from the top down. So let's do some stars. It's just a series of circles here, 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 here. And if you want to be sophisticated, you can make a 5-point star or 2, as so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a zigzag, zigzag, zigzag pattern. Let's add another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there you have your stars. What else is missing? As I look at this image, I can see as I work down, there's a swirl of a nighttime swirl in the sky. Maybe it's a cloud. It's just a line that goes up, down, up, down, and all the way like a little S-shape curve. It just curves. And it's parallel. So we'll do another line. Woo, woo, right across your drawing like so. All right, you've got most of your drawing. You're doing well. The final stages, and we've almost done. Take a look here. Whoop. What do you see? There's a little more detail. Let's go ahead and do that. As I look from the top down, I see another swirl in here. So let's go ahead and add that. It's another line that comes across your page with a little loop and then back. So let's do that. Across, behind, whoop, loop, back, behind the tree, and over. It gives it more dimension to the drawing. And as I look down, I add another house in the valley and maybe 2 more little houses here, little triangles. And at the bottom, let's add 3 little houses right at the bottom. Triangle, 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 square. You've done it. You've done a great job. All right. Now let's move into colors. We're going to do our coloring, and Teacher Ann will show you that more if we have more time in the next unit. All right. But we're going to use a combination of warm colors and cool colors to make our drawing. And I'll show you the techniques of how to do coloring. But as we're doing this, let me take this down, and I'm going to put up the original image of color so that you can see that. Whoop. And you've got some bright, bold colors there. Now, before I say anything, I want to make sure you understand the differences between warm and cool colors. You're noticing there's lots of blue here. These are cool colors. They make us feel cold. Over here, you're seeing some warm colors, some reds and some yellows. They make us feel warm. When you do coloring in your drawings, if you use a combination of these warm and cool colors, your drawings will really pop. Oh, okay. I'm also going to tell you that before I get started, when we do coloring, we usually color smaller objects first. So I have a color order here. We start with little items, maybe the stars and the moon. Then we work into bigger items like the house and the tree. The last thing that we do is the background, which would be the sky and the landscape. Okay. And as I tell you a little bit more about coloring techniques, and this is the last thing I can say due to time, is that we do coloring through a technique. We outline it first, and then we fill it in using the sides of our marker. Let me show you your markers. You all have markers here. Here we have a point, and here is the side of our marker. So whenever we're going to color something, we usually outline it first, like so. Yoop, 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 yoop. And then we use the flat side of the marker to go back and forth in one direction to color it in completely. Isn't that exciting? You're learning about coloring techniques. Well, students, we'll be coloring more in the next unit, so I hope you'll stay with me and produce a beautiful drawing by Van Gogh and have his wonderful spirit of art and creativity in mind as you do it. Great job. I look forward to seeing you again. Bye. Good luck. Happy coloring.